Hey, good people, it's Carla P. Yarbrough of carlapyarbrough.com. And I was thinking about you today because you know I am always thinking about you. And today, when I was thinking about you, is because I was thinking about the algorithm. And, you know, we all get play. If you're on social media and you do any kind of business on social media, you know, we are all fighting the algorithm and trying to beat the algorithm. Ooh, child, we trying to beat the algorithm. Well, how do I get in front of my targeted audience if the algorithm keeps changing and you know, how do I do it without having to spend so much in ads and things like that? We are always trying to beat the algorithm. I know I am, and I'm quite sure if you are watching this video, you are too. And you know, I was thinking about that, and one thing came to mind when it came to beating the algorithm for me, and I thought about community. Community. You know, we have gotten so far away from face to face talking to our audience, from getting in front of our targeted audience personally, where they can touch us and we can touch them, because we have this out, because we have social media. Social media is great. Social media is wonderful in its place, but it cannot replace community. We feel we have this false sense of community because we have all these friends on social media, or we have all these followers on social media, you know, but that's not real community, because those people can't reach out and touch us. We can't reach out and touch them. They're not in our space, and they can't make that immediate buy when we are talking to them because of the algorithm. We can't even be sure the algorithm is going to put us in front of it. We're gambling that this entity in somebody's big building that's on a computer is going to crank out some data that's going to put us in front of the people we want to be in front of. Listen, I'm going to date myself, as I always do. I'm going to date myself. But when I was a kid, we had local merchants all over the place. We had a local grocery store that was not a big chain, a chain at all. We had a local corner store that was not a chain at all. It wasn't like your 7-Elevens. No, it was a local corner store. We had a local like a little small department store, I guess if that's what you want to call it, because my mother always called it the five and dime. I don't know what five and dime was, but anyway, we would be able to go there and get things like tissue and tennis shoes and hair care products and little things like, you know, laundry baskets and things like that we needed. So it was a local merchant. He lived in that area, and we even had like there were local banks. I remember when I got my first job, when everybody in our neighborhood, when we got our first job at age 16, excuse me, there was a little, what they call a savings and loan on the corner of the busy street. Like my house, my block ended at a busy street, and there was a little savings and loan. All of us had our first account and learned about banking from this little savings and loan business that was in our community. And he was able to, these local merchants and local businesses were in our face all the time. They sponsored Little League basketball and baseball. They made sure that on Halloween we could all go around and trick or treat. They gave loans to the local people, to the local families in the area for home repairs and whatever else adults back then needed loans for. We knew the grocery store people by name because they lived in our community and owned the business. The person that fixed our car, I remember Mr. Joe. He's Joe's Garage. He was an old man, and he sat in front of the building in a chair while all the young people did the work in the back. He was not bit more fixing the car anyway, but we knew him because he was a merchant in our area. Listen, community. Excuse me. Community. Is what's going to get you excuse me, the sales that you need. You're looking for sales, you need to develop a community. You need to be a part of your community. People need to know that you have a business where you live. Where you live. Go out in the community. There are things that you need to sponsor. There are things that you need to go to the local school when they're having stuff. Find out who is your chamber of commerce. When's the last time you've been to a chamber of commerce meeting? to find out who are the other businesses in your area that you can do business to business transactions with. You haven't even developed a business community where you're doing real business to business. We're online so much. We're believing that online is everything. That is not a real community. It's virtual. There is no relationship there. Getting out and actually meeting people, going to events, that free events in an area. I remember I went to my sister and I, we went to one that was really, really nice, was in our area. They had like this it wasn't even for the holidays, this soup event where they had, you had all these bowls. You could buy the bowl and taste the soups from all the different restaurants in the area. So you bought your bowl and you go and you could taste this soup and taste that soup and taste, it was wonderful. But there were so many businesses there. What happens if you get involved or just go to one of those things? It doesn't cost you much but what it does do, it doesn't cost you much, but it renders greatly because you got a chance to meet other business owners and people in the community that could be your customers. And actually, if you're business to business and you have things that you need, supplies that you need, you can find other business that can be your suppliers just by getting out and developing a business community. Beat that algorithm with community, because what happens is if you get out in the community and you're developing relationships, the algorithm cannot control your sales. You see? Because there is no algorithm in the room. There's no algorithm at the Chamber of Commerce meeting. There is no algorithm at the community event or the Christmas party. There is no algorithm to deal with. It just is relationship. There's just relationship. You need to build a community. Now, will you still use social media for things? Yes. It has become a necessity of life, right? But it won't control your whole business. And so many times we're putting all of our business and all of our hopes and dreams into somebody else's apparatus, which is the algorithm. Don't do that. You're going to beat the algorithm by developing a community. And guess what? There's another thing the community gives to you too. Community gives you information that you wouldn't ordinarily get. You go out, you develop relationships with other business owners, some business owners that are doing greater amounts of business than you, some that are doing less, some that are on the same plane as you, but everybody has their own information. I see on the interwebs and on social media a lot where they have, everybody has a masterclass. Everybody got a masterclass. Everybody's got a course that they're trying to sell you. Come to my free webinar where I don't really give you any information, but I offer you my class for $997. That's all. Come on, for real. But if you have developed a community, you can get that information a lot of times that you're seeking through all these free webinars and everything else, just from the people that you've developed that community with, you've developed relationships with. You're in the room with someone that's doing bigger business than you, and you developed a relationship and you become friends. Y'all had lunch. You can sit down and you can have questions. You ask a question or two. You're talking about business and they're sharing with you just off the top of their head, basically because it's regular conversation of what they've done. You get a lot of information when you have community. And the algorithm cannot control your business. The algorithm, social media, online should not be the totality of what you are doing. It should not. It should not be the totality of what you are doing and how you are doing it. It really shouldn't. And if it is, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you have the opportunity to go out and meet the people in your neighborhood. You have the opportunity to go out and meet the people in your city. You have the opportunity to go out and meet the people around you that are doing business that you want to do business with. But you can't do that if you stay behind the computer. And what you're doing is you're giving all your power over to an algorithm that was created by somebody else. And you know why they were able to create that algorithm and have the business they have? Community. They have a business community. Take a page out of their book. Beat the algorithm. Develop a business community. Use social media for what the purpose of, what it was purpose for. But don't put all of your hopes and dreams in an algorithm that is fickle, that is wishy-washy, and may not give you the results that you desire. Okay? That's all I want to tell you today. You have a good day. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.